Now, I would like to give the floor to the headmaster, Mr. Christopher.
It must have been shortly after World War II, when the iconic representative of School of Frankfurt, Theodor Adorno, shocked by the Nazi atrocity, said in his famous aphorism, "After Auschwitz, we cannot write poems." In other words, after Auschwitz is barbarian to write poetry. After the Tempe tragedy, when there are still parents who look looking for their children, or what was left of them at the wreckers of the trains, I sincerely wonder. I tend to wonder if one can return to his daily life or make speeches solemn. But seeing the enthusiasm and will of all these young people these 3 days who have found Aristotelian College from all schools of Thessaloniki, I must review, because if there is a hope to similar accidents or tragedy not to occur again, if there's any hope of limiting or eradicating human misery, if there is a hope for a peaceful and humane world, it goes by the name of democracy. It is the great legacy of our small country. Αυτή η χώρα η μικρή, η μεγάλη, που λέει ο ποιητής, αυτός ο τόπος, ο μικρός, ο μεγάλος, Mrs. Panopoulou αμετάφραση. It is the great legacy of our small country to the humanity. Democracy, dialogue, drama. However, democracy is not a starting point, but an achievement that presupposes education for the transformation for a man from an individual to a citizen, that is, into a free man who takes charge of the fortunes of his city. And the privileged space to this is none other than the school. Not a technocratic school, but anthropocentric school. Not a school that will prepare professionals, but citizens for the ideal city, as poetry from Alexandria, Konstantinos Kavafis said. And all this, not only theoretically, but also experientially. It means, as Homerus said, not only rhetor mython, but priktir λόγο. Όχι μόνο λόγος, αλλά και έργο. Not only words, but in action, as you experience it these 3 days. So, as long as there are schools, teachers, and students participating in these celebrations of democracy, as long as there are young people who aspire to solve their problems with dialogue and their difference without pro-dialogue, as long as there are excellent young people who do not aspire to work in banks and hedge funds, but to become MPs in the parliament as they once did. There is a hope for a better tomorrow. Because democracy and dialogue constitute the only way to avoid war, to avoid tragedy, to avoid drama. Thus, I welcome you to Aristotelio College. I welcome you to the School of Democracy. Thank you very much.
Now, I would like to invite Mr. Theodoros Maniakas, the Educational Counselor.
I try to go a progress. I have to remember my team. Getting old is not easy. Getting older, not old. So to collaborate. Here we are. So, dear all, thank you for being here today, this morning. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. And I'm greatly honored to be here with you to share some invaluable experience. I was driving here. I remember my first email this morning was from, I don't remember, New York Times or something. And I said to myself, not again. Why did I say that? Because President Biden is said to be moving ahead on an $8 billion oil project in Alaska, in the largest single expanse of pristine US wilderness this morning, last night's news. And I said to myself, still it's going on, even with the progressive Democratic Party in the States? Yes, because the pressure of certain people on other certain people is still there. So on this note, let me talk about something that probably some of you have heard it before, but I think it's nice to revise, to repeat, to remember. In ancient times, and not so ancient, unfortunately, nations being ethnocentric and racist, they believed that the control and exploitation of the weak would be profitable. They claimed that war creates a lot of wealth, jobs, and produces prosperity when the game is over, when the war is over. Polemos patir tandem. War is the father to everything. Unlike the presentation practice production, which is the triple P, PPP, for the EFL teachers that we know that, after a long history of violence and wars, we have a big change. People believe in peace. We have peace on the planet. Everybody's prosperous and happy like ourselves. We wake up in the morning, we squeeze our oranges, I take my coffee, take my car to go to the job. Perfect. Everything is right, isn't it? No. War is next door. War is next door, and we know very well that up to now, approximately 300,000 people have perished. 8.5 million people have left the country to go to other countries. 8.5 million people, almost the population of Greece. Why? Because we have peace on the planet. No, we don't. We leave it aside because we have also new pure economic wars. Remember that after a war, there are sanctions. What are sanctions? It's a religious term. Sanctified measures against a country because they have a war. With these religious sanctions or economic sanctions, who suffers? Everybody, the whole planet. So I don't want to make you sad this morning, it's a beautiful day, Saturday. So let me talk about something that is real, it's next to us, we see it every day, is the triple P I call. We have an enemy that comprises of 3 letters, 3 Ps. The first one is plutocracy, plutocrats, the oligarchs. These are people, 1% of the population, that controls the wealth of the planet. Someone's daily income can be equal to someone else's annual income in the same society, in the same country, in the same city even. The richest man in the world the other day I read about owns $181 billion. That is his personal wealth. This money is enough to feed the poor for years and years. Another enemy, I was talking about enemies now. Another enemy starts also with a letter, the word starting with a P is poverty. Poverty. 25% of the European Union citizens live below the level of poverty. They are poor, in other words. They have no resources, no health plan, poor health, poor education, and are malnourished, let alone no access to quality entertainment. They are exploited. Extreme poverty we have in the case of homeless people, especially in the mega cities all over the world, where there are literally thousands of them, and their number is increasing every day. The third enemy starts with letter P, is, you can guess, pollution. Pollution. We have large areas of this planet, especially poor areas, and I wonder why, like favelas, slums, garbage dumps, refugee camps, where air and water pollution is the rule, sometimes 500 times above the accepted level of clean water and clean air. It's a luxury for these people to have clean water. We take it for granted, as I said. We know that we turn on the tap and we have fresh water, don't we? We can have a shower, we have everything. Other people do not have. Simple things that we can help. We have new enemies and a new war we have to start. We have to start a war against violence because poverty, pollution, and the plutocracy is the enemy. To convince the super rich 1% of the planet that they cannot control the richness of the earth and deprive the majority of the population the right to live with dignity and honor. It's high time we acted with serenity, empathy, and love to stop any sort of violence. Whatever good we do to the least of our brothers and sisters, we do it for him. This is what the Lord said. Over 70 years have passed since the United Nations was incorporated. Human rights and freedoms must be secured and protected. That's obvious. Strange enough, though, those same rights and freedoms are constantly violated. Why are those freedoms violated? Because we don't have only rights and freedoms, we have at the same time to implement obligations and understanding. Furthermore, we educators, like teachers, not only English teachers, any subject, school subject, we have to start seriously and systematically educating our youngsters to feel empathy, to be proud, to help and give, to be happy to offer and to volunteer. Teach them not to be arrogant and greedy, to accumulate more and more material things. We all have to revise our role models, the influencers, the huge money people need, the people that make $200, $500 million a year, because they do what? They kick the soccer ball. And people admire them. This is their role model. It's tragic, pathetic. So we have to be humble, to be honest with ourselves, to know ourselves, to be ourselves. Let us change the role models that we have. As my father once said to me when I was young, son, do not be like our corrupted generation. You, the young people, go out and change the world. Turn it upside down. We are a failure. We are a failure. So I would like to congratulate you all for being here, being able to debate, to argue politely, with empathy, with love, with respect. And these 2 days, they were very, very profitable for you, I'm sure. I believe that you have gained a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge from the 20th Aristotelian Model United Nations. I wish that we have many more to come next year in the brand new school getting ready. And my congratulations to all the organizers and of course my colleagues, my fellow teachers for doing this for so many years successfully. Thank you and God bless.
Dear members, please come on stage so as to make your welcome speech. And then we Australia, you have the floor. Only Australia. Only Australia.
Thank you very much. Honorable chairs, fellow delegates, and as well as all gathered here. As the ambassador of the nation of Australia, it gives me a deep sense of satisfaction to speak to you today at the closing ceremony of this year's MUN. Let me start by saying a warm thank you to the organizers for the amazing experience, the chairs that were extremely helpful throughout the whole procedure, and the delegates who we cooperated with excellently. We students have significantly benefited from this conference. It taught us diplomacy, strategy, and an empowered our knowledge about issues that have been troubling the world we live in. Furthermore, the conference helped us broaden our horizons and taught us how to use our critical thinking. Lastly, and most importantly, it enhanced our communication skills and allowed us to create bonds that will stay unbreakable forever. It's been a great honor for us to be a part of something so significant. Thank you very much.
Australia, you have the floor. Thank you. Belarus, you have the floor.
Good morning, esteemed guests. I, Soteris Paskos, was selected as an ambassador for Belarus. It was Ralia, Mariana, Venetia, Apostolos, and Aphrodite. May I please have a round of applause for the honorable delegates of Belarus. Thank you. I hope that all people representing our country have contributed significantly in our fight against the Western powers. I'm only joking, of course. On a serious note, I would like to express my appreciation to the people of Aristotelia College, our chairs, the staff, and the Secretary General for bringing this experience into life. And lastly, I would like to take this moment to thank our teacher, Ms. Kate. She's right there. Thank you very much. I've been the ambassador of Belarus. Thank you for your attention.
Belgium, you have the floor.
Dear delegates, esteemed guests, and honorable members of the board, It is our great pleasure to address you today as the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium at the closing ceremony of the UN conference. Over the past 2 days, we have the opportunity to engage in fruitful discussions and negotiations on some of the world's most precious issues. I would like to express my appreciation to all the delegates for their hard work and dedication and for their contributions towards finding innovative and sustainable solutions to the challenge we face as a global community. I'm also grateful to the organizers of this conference for the tireless efforts in making this event a success and providing us with a platform to exchange ideas, learn from one another, and collaborate towards a better future. As we bring this conference to a close, I urge all of you to continue your efforts toward achieving our common goals. Let us work together to promote peace, security, and human rights, and to build a more sustainable and equitable world. In closing, I would like to thank all of you for your commitment and contributions to this conference, and to extend my confidence in our collective ability to make a positive impact on the world. Thank you.
Brazil, you have the floor.
Good morning, everyone. Your Excellency, the General Secretary, Mr. President, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. The Federal Republic of Brazil is a founding member of the UN and participates in all of its specialized agencies, and Brazil is among the 20 top contributors to the UN nations for peacekeeping. And since 1947, Brazil has been the first country to speak at the general debate. These past few days have been full of great debates and fruitful conversations among all delegates. The experience has been a great opportunity to see how the United Nations work, and a great way to get a sense of how politics and diplomacy work as well. We hope to see you in another MUN, and Brazil wishes you the best for the upcoming events and MUN congresses. I would like to take a moment to thank our chairs, George and Alexandra. They were very helpful and special thank you.
Canada, you have the floor.
Thank you. I greet Your Excellency, the Secretary General, and the delegates and distinguished guests, as well as the honorable chairs. It is a great honor to spend the past few days with delegates from different countries. With our participation, the MUN successfully finished all of its sessions. Canada would like to extend our highest respect and most sincere gratitude to the joint efforts of all the participating chairs, delegates, guests, and representatives, and our most cordial congratulations on the success of the 20th Model of the United Nations. From peacekeeping and caring for refugees and people in desperate humanitarian need, to serving as a platform to shine a bright light on human rights abuses and threats to the international peace and security, and trying to end wars and keep the peace around the world, it was hard and important work for Canada and the rest around the world and the United States. Therefore, we would like to encourage further cooperation between the nations in order to secure a brighter future for everyone. Thank you.
Chairman, you have the floor.
esteemed members of the board, honorable chairs, fellow delegates, dear guests. When sitting down to write a closing speech about this year's MUN experience, I was surprised that very few words came to mind. What was actually floating in my mind was the image of the last few minutes of yesterday's conference. All delegates walking out of their committees with big enthusiastic smiles on their faces, rushing to their groups to share the experience and generally the details of how their day went. And that alone speaks volumes about how successful and productive the conference was. The delegation of China would like to thank the college for hosting us, our chairs for their guidance and patience throughout, the organizing staff that put an effort into realizing the event, and of course, our fellow delegates whose cooperation has been invaluable in searching substantial resolutions towards a peaceful and sustainable future of this world. Thank you for your attention.
Denmark, you have the floor.
Honorable Chair, esteemed delegates, the delegates of Denmark was delighted to be part of the 20th Annual Arcan Union Conference. The Kingdom of Denmark is comprised of Greenland, the Faroe Islands, and Denmark. Denmark believes everyone has a right to education, adults and children, but also promoting gender equality, so no one loses their right to education. By participating in many events and organizations to promote STEM and global educational cooperation in many countries. Therefore, we look forward to discussing this and other issues the past few days. Denmark hopes that its fellow delegates have engaged in relevant debate in order to make this conference productive. Thank you.
Egypt, you have the floor.
Your Excellency, the Secretary General, Madam President, distinguished guests, honorable delegates, Sabah al-Khair. The delegation of Egypt is delighted to have participated in this conference and to have contributed to the solution of all the crucial issues that were debated. Egypt has been an active member of the UN since October 1945 and has supported their operations more than 35 times in the past, taking to our country being the 7th largest contributor overall. Furthermore, the Arab Republic of Egypt has a long history, and despite every disorder that our state has been through, we have achieved balance and stability. Let's not forget Egypt leading role in Africa, where the country has interfered in order to maintain peace, food security, and economy. Lastly, despite our deep concern about the ongoing problems which plague the international community, like Russia's invasion in Ukraine, we would like to highlight our continent's problem, where people are not able to cover even their basic needs. So we hope that Africa will not be overlooked. Thank you for your attention. Shukran.
Estonia, you have the floor.
Your Excellency, the Secretary General, Madam President, and honorable delegates. Estonia has been the United Nations since 1991. It is in our interest that a world based on rules and law remains strong. It is important for Estonia to be an active and reliable partner in the works of the United Nations. The last couple of days have been a great opportunity for all of us to acquaint ourselves with the procedures of a United Nations conference. Through many interesting debates and a lot of engaging speeches, the Arcan UN 2023 has come to an end. We are thankful to all the people who put in their work in order for us to have the best possible experience at the modern United Nations. Thank you all very much. Sincerely, the delegates from Estonia.
Finland, you have the floor.
Dear Excellency, Mrs. President, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everyone. Finland, a UN member since 1955, strongly promotes the value and priority of multilateral cooperation and advances peace and security, sustainable development and realization of human rights. During this fruitful three-day convention, we work to ensure that global issues such as the economic situation in the least developed countries, the Afghan refugee crisis, sex and sexual harassment in the field of sports, or global educational cooperation are efficaciously addressed by all nations. Finland will continue trying to improve each aspect of human life. We believe that by collaboration and solidarity, we can undergo every major problem. I am grateful for your attention. I yield the floor to the President.
French, you have the floor.
Distinguished members of MUN staff, revered guests, fellow participants. As we stand, or sit rather, gathered here, it gives me a deep sense of satisfaction to be able to speak to you today at the closing ceremony of this conference. The organization of these simulations in the format of the UN procedures and formalities has given us a guiding idea to allow us to experience multilateral negotiations and become acquainted with the process in which UN members
Third countries push ourselves in debates and pass good resolutions. But we also found friends in Parliament.
To welcome the General Director of the Presbyterian College, Mr. Please. And I would like to welcome the Principal of Junior High School, Mr. Dinos Matias. Ella, you have the floor.
Your Excellency, the Secretary General, members of the board, honorable delegates. The delegation of Palas would like to dedicate the 60 seconds of its closing speech to honor the memory of the victims of the recent train tragedy in Tempe, all the innocent victims of the ongoing wars worldwide, and the victims of the recent earthquake in Turkey. Please rise and let us keep a minute silence. Thank you.
India, you have the floor.
Your Excellency, fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste. I am pleased to join you for the closing of the 20th Aristotle of UN, representing the most populated democracy in the world, India. A universal hub of cultures, faiths, and languages, a vibrant synthetic of diversity. Our world, however, is plagued by public crisis, causing global turbulence across different domains. The ongoing war in Ukraine, the Afghan crisis against a background of economic growth. Issues of separation and instability in our proximity, harassment and sexism in sports, children's rights in the Arab world, and healthcare deficiencies in Africa. These 2 days, we have demonstrated our commitment to building a platform for cooperation and economic, humanitarian, and healthcare assistance. Monday, the only hope and diplomatic artillery resulted organizers, boards, delegates, and media for this member.
Παλέτο. Θα πάμε μπαλέτο. Και θα βάλουμε αυτό. Και αυτό. Κοίτα. Και αυτό θα βάλουμε. Εντάξει. Λοιπόν, κάτσε η μαμά λίγο να το σιδερώσει. Το άνοιξα. Δεν το άνοιξα. Αλλάξτε πάμπες.
Members of the board, esteemed guests, fellow delegates.
Παλέτο, το
The people
πιστεύω.
of Ireland, the UN spot of who and what we are. As a small country with its own troubled past, having experienced famine and conflict over many generations, both our values and interests firmly embedded in a rules-based international order built on the principles of peace, security, and friendly relations among nations. Ireland has kept faith with the UN since we joined in 1955 as a young republic which has fought hard for its independence. Back then, we saw being a member of the UN fundamental to our future and to our own peace and security. We still do so nearly 70 years later. Having completed this year's conference work, we would like to highlight the role we believe the organization must play in reducing suffering and hunger across the globe, addressing the climate crisis and its impact to promoting gender equality. As peace building and prospects for sustaining peace remain elusive in Ukraine, transitioning from conflict to sustainable development effectively is more essential than ever before.
Όχι το παλέτο που κάνουμε στο μπάνιο. Πάμε να χορέψουμε. Dance party. Κατάλαβες? Πέρασε πολύ ωραία. Θες να φορέσεις και τα γουέλη σου? Οκ. Κάτσε να σου φέρω κάλυψες. Βάλουμε αυτές με τη μίνι γιατί είναι χοντρές και θα είναι εύκολο με τα γουέλη σου.
Your Excellency, the Presidency, Honorable Secretariat, esteemed guests, fellow delegates. The delegation of Italy feels the utmost honor to have had the opportunity to participate in this conference of great significance. As the matters which have been discussed within the different committees, such as the conflict in Ukraine, the Afghan refugee crisis, achieving financial prosperity in the least developed countries, and many more, can decisively affect the world's course. Italy, after its foundation in 1946, joined the United Nations in 1955. which marked the beginning of Italy's foreign policy's multilateralist approach, as well as its consistent, long-standing support, encouragement, and endorsement of the UN activities. The delegation of Italy greatly appreciates the cooperation and immense efforts that all UN members made in order to achieve quick and effective resolutions, which will ensure stability and prosperity all over the globe. We are hopeful that with the bold decisions made within the different committees, all discussed topics will be resolved, thus showing the world that in times of crisis, the world is able to prevail and overcome many obstacles through unity and by means of diplomacy and international cooperation. After all, as Barack Obama said, in a world of complex threats, our security and leadership depends on all elements of our power, including strong and principled diplomacy. Thank you very much.
You have the floor.
Κορίτσι μου, κορίτσι μου. Και να βάλουμε και το παντελόνι μας που είναι σαν καρσόν. Σαν καρσόν.
The Secretary General, Madam President, Honorable Delegate,
Και θα βάλουμε και το άλλο.
I will start by extending my heartfelt appreciation to each one of you for putting the effort into organizing this beautiful and productive conference. For my day, all these fellow delegates from different countries have come together striving to find solutions to the world's problems. In Japanese tradition, it's a cherry blossom is a symbol of beautiful life and a symbol of the lifetime. Life is beautiful but short, like the life of a cherry blossom, but it's still enough to make the most of it. In order to make the most of life, all countries need to reach a state of economic prosperity through hard work, ethics, education, and healthcare for all. As one of the largest donors to global aid, Japan has also taken on a mission of imparting to the world the benefits of trade, standing ready to work with other nations and regions as an agent of hope for peace and stability in the Eastern Asia region. Japan condemns acts of aggression and violation of human rights. Stability can only be achieved through the rule of law and solid institutions, dialogue and diplomacy. It has been a great pleasure for being here today and working towards our goal along with fellow delegates who share the same idea. Delegation of Japan, thank you all for an enjoyable conference and we wish to meet you again next year.
Netherlands, you have the floor.
Γιατί μου γκρινιάζεις? Θέλεις άλλο? Ποιο θες? Αυτό? Οκ.
Honorable chairs, Madam President, esteemed delegates, the Netherlands will be delighted to be part of this year's MUN conference. It's great to see you here today. I'm glad we have this opportunity to meet and express you. The Netherlands has long-standing relationships with the countries you represent. A future of peace and long-term sustainability will be most beneficial to all countries based on cooperation for international security and stability. These partnerships are crucial for the Netherlands as a new European member state. We believe that this year's agenda has offered an excellent blueprint for mutually beneficial relations in the future, rooted in equality. The Netherlands is a macro-nation with a strong belief in freedom and the international rule of law. Both of these values come under pressure in recent years, and we believe this concerns every country in the world. With that in mind, we will continue to engage with other countries, always looking for ways of working together to bolster the rule of law. At times, this might lead to friction, but we believe being able to discuss these things is a sign of mature partnership. With that being said, we would like to thank all of the delegates, the committees, and the honorable chairs for their excellent attendance this year's MUN conference. It was our honor to have the opportunity to work with each one of you. Thank you all.
Portugal, you have the floor.
Good morning, esteemed board, honorable delegates, dear friends. As the ambassadors of Portugal, I would like to thank every committee here today, its delegates individually, who spoke their minds and shared their opinions and statements with all of us today. Furthermore, I would dearly like to give credit to the chairs, the organizers, the media team, and of course the security staff for their amazing work and collaboration to organize this conference. It is a lifetime experience, which qualified the students in many ways. Moreover, it was a very fun and joyful way of communication and debate. An opportunity to unite students from different backgrounds and to get in touch with a variety of mindsets and opinions. Thank you, everyone. I wish you the best. I give the floor to the board. Thank you.
Honorable Secretary General, Mr. President, honorable delegates, ladies and gentlemen. The Republic of Korea has been in the United Nations since December 1948. The United Nations assisted with the formation of the Republic of Korea through commissions such as observing the first general ballot and other rehabilitation affairs. First of all, we want to congratulate all the members of the committees for the constructive proposals through the process. The resolution we have written is a product of mutual consent, which is reflected in the widespread support that it has received. India, France, Estonia, the Russian Federation, and Japan seem to have strong beliefs and reasonable debate when it comes to children's rights, specifically child labor and child abuse. These countries, and mainly the Republic of Korea, are committed to working with the UN with other delegations in order to achieve consensus that will help the resolution of global issues. These past few days have been a very fruitful experience. We had the opportunity to socialize, acquire the skill in debating, and gain an understanding of how the United Nations work. It is incredibly tough to reach agreement on international issues, but the astonishing cooperation we had with the rest of the delegates made it look easier. It has been an amazing time and surely an unforgettable experience. The Republic of Korea wishes you luck in any upcoming events, and we hope to have the chance to meet you in the future. I would also like to thank the chairs, Veronique and Melina, and my lovely teacher, Mr. Moisides. There.
Russian Federation, you have the floor.
Honorable Secretary General, well-respected guests, and esteemed delegates. The Russian Federation, since its addition in the UN, has and has proven in front of that cooperation between nations and diplomatic procedure. Committed in creating diplomatic channels in order to resolve problems peacefully and avoid in this conference, and we hope that in the future there will be progress for all nations and humanity. As an ambassador of the Russian Federation, I would like to thank all delegates for the excellent representation of our country's interests and ideals, and for their effort to find common ground with the rest of the representatives to ensure a prosperous future for everyone. I would also like to thank the Honorable Board, the well-respected guests, and our beloved teachers for making this participation possible. Thank you for your undivided attention.
Jane, you have the floor.
Your Excellency, the Secretary General, Madam President, distinguished guests, honorable delegates. Spain, the delegation of Spain was delighted to be a part of this conference. This was a productive conference in which we tackled many issues that have been troubling the international community. Spain has been an active member of the United Nations since the 14th of December 1955. Our delegation has been ardently involved in the organization, reiterating the need for the global community to be based on the pillars of security, development, and respect for human rights. As Spain, we pursue peace and union amongst nations, yet we acknowledge that war peace in the 21st century is arduous to accomplish. We cannot overlook Russia's invasion of Ukraine, along with the numerous war crimes Russia has committed this past month, and China's violation of human rights. We also tackled serious issues such as children's rights in the Arab world and financial problems the least developed countries face, especially after the devastation of the recent pandemic threat. The delegation of Spain fought alongside other nations and made an effort to combat these future problems. Now, we hope for an auspicious future for our world and its people. And Spain urged all member states to join hands in these difficult times and provide solutions for the topic discussed. Muchas gracias. Viva España.
Sweden, you have the floor.
Fellow delegates, honorable council members, and secretary of the council. As the ambassador to Sweden, I am thrilled to say that the past days have been very exciting for all the delegates representing Sweden. Ever since the beginning of this year's MUN, we have had the pleasure to socialize with fellow delegates while debating our way through different committees. We all agree that this has been an unforgettable experience, and we cannot wait for the next RMUN to come. Thank you. I yield the floor to the board.
USA, you have the floor.
Honorable Secretary General, Madam President, and esteemed delegates, the delegation of the United States of America is more than pleased to have attending the 2023 ARC-UN conference. Having signed the UN Charter and therefore being one of the UN's founding member states, as well as being the largest contributor to the UN budget, the United States of America has proven the significance of our participation in this organization. We are grateful to have been able to contribute to this conference by bringing up serious topics to discuss with fellow delegations, by forming purposeful alliances, and by passing fruitful resolutions. We have made our positions on the topics discussed clear and have worked methodically for their inclusion in the final resolutions. For example, the USA has declared the importance of the promotion, development, and investment of the STEM education for all students from pre-K to higher education. It supported the elimination of any kind of gender discrimination in the field of sports and the protection of athletes from sexual harassment. It fostered the funding of initiatives and the spreading of awareness concerning the healthcare systems and pharmaceutical supplies in Africa, and promoted the protection of children's rights in the Arab world. The delegation of the United States of America thanks you once more for giving us the opportunity to significantly contribute to this conference. I would also like to thank the organizing committee, the board, and my two lovely teachers, Ifigenia Kofu and Vince Anastasiado, as well as my chairs, Vaya and Ariadne, for being so helpful during the conference. Thank you. We yield the floor to the board.
United Kingdom, you have the floor.
Are you able to hear me?
United Kingdom, you have the floor.
Are you able to hear me? I'm on the Zoom call. No.
It hosted the founding of initiatives and spread plans to study the healthcare system and pharmaceutical supply in Africa. So did the protection of citizens' rights in the area. The delegation of the United States of America also discussed the opportunity to significantly contribute to this conference. I would also like to thank the organizers, the board and as well my chair, the slow during conference. Thank you. We give it to you.
If you want time, but we can begin. Yes, we can begin.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the Secretary General, esteemed President, honourable delegates.
You have the floor.
Are you able to hear me? I'm on the Zoom call.
I'm sorry, I can't really hear what's going on. Does the United Kingdom have the floor?
Yes, you can begin.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the Secretary General, esteemed President, honourable delegates. As a founding member of the United Nations, the United Kingdom is committed alongside our allies to international cooperation. And we've been thoroughly enjoying this conference and all of the agreements, and we thank everyone involved in organising it. Security is fundamental. Peace is the bedrock on which stability, freedom, and prosperity may be built. That's why the United Kingdom, alongside our allies, sees the situation in Ukraine discussed in the Security Council as fundamental to this conference and to global prosperity. The United Kingdom shall always continue to work with our friends and allies to support Ukraine and support the principles of self-determination, democracy, freedom, and prosperity, which the UN was founded to help preserve back in 1945. The United Kingdom wishes peace and prosperity to the world and is committed to whatever it takes to achieve this. Thank you. I yield the floor to the President in the hope that you've been able to hear what I've said.
I am truly honored to award you with the certificate of Best Delegate, Future Diplomat, and the Verbal Award. On behalf of Security Council, Best Delegate is Belarus. On behalf of Security Council, Best future diplomat, sorry, is Egypt. On behalf of Security Council, verbal award is Russia. On behalf of ECOSOC, best delegate, Belarus. On behalf of ECOSOC, I announce future diplomat, India. On behalf of ECOSOC, verbal award, Italy. On behalf of social humanitarian, best delegate, Russian Federation. On behalf of social humanitarian, future diplomat, Belarus. On behalf of social and humanitarian, I announce verbal award, Sweden. On behalf of Spectral, best, yeah, of future diplomat, no, future diplomat is Netherlands. On behalf of Spectral, I announce best delegate Egypt. On behalf of Spectral, Verbal Award UK, Belgium, Sweden. On behalf of UNICEF, best delegate Russia. On behalf of UNICEF, future diplomat, India. On behalf of UNICEF, Verbal Award, French, and Republic of France. On behalf of UNESCO, best delegate is Estonia. On behalf of UNESCO, future diplomat, Brazil. On behalf of UNESCO, verbal award, India. On behalf of UN Women, best delegate is USA. On behalf of UN Women, future diplomat, India. On behalf of UN Women, verbal award, Egypt and Germany. Future diplomat, Spain. On behalf of who, best delegate is China. On behalf of who, verbal award, Canada. Okay, now it's time to have a break. But before we move to a short break, we would like to remind you that in order to move toward a sustainable future, our organizer committee would like to kindly request you to return the ambassador flags and the name tags. Our conference is in alliance with the UN sustainability goals, planning to reduce its impact on the environment. Thank you. Sí. ¿Dónde